Hey everybody, this little video is going to cover several different aspects. If you're interested in permaculture, general gardening, or just ways to cut corners and save a few dollars, then this is what you're looking for. I've been interested in putting black locust onto our property. That's a tree, and if you're unfamiliar with it, let me tell you why it's popular among permaculturists. It has so many different uses. Number one, it is a very high nectar tree. It produces a lot of nectar as a main source for our honeybees. Second, it's a nitrogen fixer. So it's going to bring nitrogen out of the air and fixate it into the soil for the rest of the surrounding area. Also, the wood is extremely dense. It makes very good use for handles for tools like rakes and so forth. And I'm sure there's plenty of other things that I'm not even mentioning here. Like, for example, we're going to also use it as a shade tree. Now, if you've ever looked at purchasing trees, then I'm sure you understand that they cost a good bit of money. Even at your box department stores, you're going to find them going for $20, $30, or $40 per tree, usually depending on the popularity of the tree or how long it's already been growing. Now, black locust costs about the same. Where I've been able to locate it and source it online, because I'm not going to be able to find it at a local nursery, just really wasn't in my price point, especially for the number of trees that I want to have. So I started thinking about how I could propagate it myself. So I asked a good friend of mine and the leader and director of our community garden here locally, Gail. I asked her where could I find black locust, because it does grow in the area naturally. And so she went to looking for it, and it just so happens that she found 3 trees that some students of hers had propagated from root cuttings from another tree that had been cut down, and I love the history of it. But these 3 trees happen to be in fruit right now, so I was able to go over and get some of these seeds. Now, something special about these seeds, and I'm sure you may have encountered this on other varieties as well, this isn't a simple go to the store, buy a packet, and put the seed in the ground. You have to treat these seeds. They do have to go through some type of process to get through the hard coat that is a part of the seed. So my preferred method was to do the boiling method. Here's how we did that.
Okay, so the first thing we need to gather together are our instruments. I have an electric kettle, a small glass bowl, and of course the black locust seed that I've collected. I'm just going to turn on my electric kettle, sit back and wait for it to boil. Once it does come to a rolling boil, I will take the water and pour it into the small glass bowl. Now I want to have 7 black locusts on my property. To ensure that I have good germination, I'm going to plant 14 seeds. So I'm going to take my 14 seeds and put them into the boiling hot water and set them aside for tomorrow. It's the next day now, and I've got a bowl with a sieve to separate out my seeds. I also have a paper towel with 3 of the original unprocessed seeds that we're going to use for reference, and the bowl that has been waiting for us overnight. Simply take the bowl with the seeds in it and pour them through the sieve so that you can separate out your seeds, and then pour the seeds onto the paper towel. Now, the purpose of the reference seeds is to see whether or not if the hot process method worked. If it did work, then the hot water would have deteriorated enough of the shell that the seed itself would have bulged a bit. It would have appeared to grow in size. But as we start comparing these, it didn't work. So we're going to up our game and move things over to the stove. I'm going to turn this water onto high and wait for it to come to a rolling boil. Once it comes to a rolling boil, make sure that you turn down your temperature to whatever temperature you know your stove will continue to boil water and not overboil. Then take your seeds and put them directly into the boiling water. We're going to boil these seeds for 1 minute. So to make sure I get that right, I'm going to set myself a little timer and then wait for 1 minute. After the 1 minute has passed, we're going to put a lid onto this pot to try to help hold the heat in a little bit better. Turn everything off and go ahead and take the pot off of the heat. Now I came back 6 hours later if you keep a close eye on it, I think you'll be able to tell when you need to come back. You can see we're back here with the seeds that have been processed, along with the bowl and sieve as before, as well as the sample seeds and the paper towel. Again, process your seeds through the sieve so that you can separate them out. And by now you're already knowing whether or not this is going the way that you hoped that it would. And I am already quite pleased with what I am seeing. But let's go ahead and pour these out over on the paper towel and see what you think. You might not be able to tell from here, but things are looking quite well. Let's go ahead and bring everybody in for a better shot. You can see down here at the bottom are the 3 original seeds. They're quite much smaller than the rest of the seeds up here. These have all had their hard coat worn out and have bulbed up. All but this one, which probably just was not very well fertilized in the first place. Now I'm just going to put them into these 7 peat pots with some potting soil mix and give them all a nice saturation of water so that they know that I'm ready for them to germinate.
So what all does that save me in the long run? I went from looking at anywhere from $20 to $30 a tree to the little bit of material that I used in some pre-purchased potting soil and the little peat pots. That's it. That's it. I'm going to have at least 7 trees. 7 is what I want to have on the property. And so doing the rough math, $140 is a lot of money saved that I'm happy to put somewhere else. So if you're already a part of the giveaway, you can look forward to getting some black locust seed. I know that not everybody who's signed up may even be able to grow black locust, such as somebody in an apartment or a small suburban lot with homeowner restrictions. But if you are able, then I have to encourage you to do it for the many different varieties and aspects and uses of this tree. Thank you all for watching. I would really appreciate if you like the video below. That helps rate the video so that YouTube knows how well we're doing and whether or not they should recommend our channel to other viewers that are out there. So please go ahead and click that like button now. And if you really like it, then please go ahead and share the video with your friends in different communities so that they can see that there are some seeds that have a special thing that needs to be done before they can actually germinate, or that there are some plants out there that have so many different uses that they might not be taking it into consideration. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next time.